It's all thanks to the Kitamura support party. Kitamura, a member of the House of Councillors from the Nipponzei party, has been the subject of much discussion for his response to Prime Minister Takaichi's reduction in the number of seats. Kitamura Takaichi, please think carefully. He said that he was able to become Prime Minister because minor parties like this and the support party appealed to public opinion that a government based on greed would be no good. He expressed his opposition to the reduction in the number of seats, saying that he wanted to tell Prime Minister Takaichi. This shows his true character, as netizens are also saying that he is a support party member. This is a local argument. Some people are saying that Kitamura, please tell Takaichi, if we
reduce the salaries of members of parliament together, the cost will be the same. I think it would be healthier to realize the vision of Team Mirai, where the work and income and expenditure are visible. Kitamura is right. It
is undoubtedly the results of the minority opposition parties' appeals that have moved the debate on the House of Councillors. The Takaichi cabinet was formed based on this. Reducing the number of seats equals fixing the entitlement to membership. I absolutely oppose it. As Kitamura says, the number of members of parliament in Japan is not large compared to other countries, but the amount of salary is high. I think it's not about reducing the number of members of parliament, but about reducing their salaries. Mr. Kitamura's words carry weight. If it weren't for the voices of minority parties, Prime Minister Takaichi wouldn't have been born. Mr. Takaichi, let's all support the existence of minorities and protect the future of conservatives. Mr. Kitamura, Seihi Hina, is right about Mr. Takaichi. There are fewer members of parliament who do work like the Conservative Party or the Pro-Constitution Party, and the remaining members are intellectually motivated and negative to the national interest like the LDP and the New Constitutional Democratic Party, and they just line their pockets instead of looking. You're right. If there were no pro-constitution party or Hoshijima, the town would be full of even more foreigners by now. Japanese taxes would have gone up dramatically, and the bill on selective marital separation would have passed. No one is saying that we should cut both proportional representation and the minority representation. We're prepared for this. That's what members of parliament say. The LDP only says they want to cut proportional representation. I wonder how many people in the public understand the true meaning of this. As Mr. Kitamura says, Prime Minister Takaichi was partly motivated by the instructions of minority parties and public opinion. The appeal from the position of opposing the reduction of the number of Diet members is also an interesting statement as a political tactic. At the very least, we need to ban dual candidacy for proportional representation and small-scale elections. It will prevent the birth of zombie Diet members, and even if it is banned, it will not affect minority parties like Hodo. It is simply not possible to do so in the first place. With increased money, the price will remain the same, and the wages per person will increase, increasing the number of budget-friendly options, making the Japanese people happy. And in order to realize Mr. Koichi's policies, a minority conservative opposition party is absolutely necessary. Let's criticize the reason that it will take a year to complete the process and push Mr. Koichi to make it easier for him to take the plunge. It is certainly strange that all the LDP members are running for the register. As Professor Kitamura says, the power of appealing to the conservative Japanese secularists who sent Representative Shimada Hirokazu, House of Councillors member Momono, and House of Councillors member Kitamura to the Diet is immeasurable. Thanks to Kitamura and the supporters' continued messages, the message that Japan is in danger has reached the naive Takeman. And I thought that Takaichi's campaign promises would be met, but I can understand LDP member Kitamura. Of course, the fact that the voices of a minority have changed the tide is important. However, the government cannot be moved by ideals alone, and negotiations based on the actual number of members are necessary. Rather than reducing the number of seats, I would like to see a ban on the practice of running multiple candidates. It is really difficult to defeat a famous member of parliament in a rural Korean bureau, but I feel helpless when they are revived even after an easy battle. It is true that they have been converted, but it is not the achievement of the supporters' party's Nihonbujima. Rather, wouldn't it be more convincing to voters if they were told that they are simply in a position to ride the wave? I understand what Mr. Kitamura is saying. I am in favor of reducing the number of seats in the Diet itself, but I oppose reducing the number of seats under the current electoral system. The goal is to increase the number of local assembly members so that conservative Japanese politicians can win seats even if the number of seats is reduced. In fact, both the supporters' party and Hoshijima are opposed to reducing the number of seats from dangerous positions. In the case of conservative Japanese politicians, there will be 0 members. This is correct. In reality, anyone who works for Japan and the Japanese people is fine. The Japanese people want to eliminate those who flatter foreigners.